We're going to go over the most powerful epics in the game, 4 of them that will help you out with progression. And if you have them on your account and you don't have them leveled up, I don't know what you're waiting for because they are the most overpowered ones for progression. And right now, if you would, go down below in the comments and put down what 4 epics would you think are the most powerful for your account. That if you pull that and you're like, yes, this is going to elevate my account up, this is the epic. Let me know the 4 that you think it is. I'm going to throw in a 5th one that I love that's more like a utility at the end. And then, of course, we got to talk about one rare because that rare really is pretty much an epic. And if you know what that rare is, let me know down below before you watch the video. Okay, let's get into it. So the first epic I'm going to talk about is Guras. This guy, if you have him, of course, you know about him. He is absolutely a beast. I have the same gear that I have on Horus on this guy right now. It's got defense, HP, same exact gear that I have on my Horus. This is 8. This guy gets a permanent defense increase. 20 stacks, it goes up to 40% additional defense. He's got a defense lead, which I love using everywhere. Here, he'll knock somebody up, but get hit recovery on himself. So whenever he's hit, he gets a little bit of life. And then on the ultimate, this one's really crazy because he heals the whole board by a massive amount of defense percentage, right? 600% of defense. He's already getting 40% additional defense with his passive, especially on something like the Harpy. It comes really quick. He's got a 50% chance when he's hit to get that permanent buff up of 40% additional defense. And then he does this mega heal. But before he does the mega heal, this is the kicker, right? He dispels all debuffs from himself. So even if you try to heal block him, before he does this heal, it's taken off. I'm healing myself. So of course in PvP, you've seen him and he's massive because you're sitting there trying to stop this guy from healing himself and he keeps removing this debuff that you're trying to block his heals. It's crazy. So I'm just going to show you really quick what it's like to have a tank that is also like your main healer and he does damage because he's stacking so much defense. He does really good damage on the Vortex boss. If he's there and the Vortex is your main healer, he's doing some crazy, crazy damage. Okay, we're getting stacks up. We're up to 11 stacks, so we're not up to 40% additional defense yet. We've got hit recovery. We've got all these additional buffs on us right now, helping him out a little bit. He just did a big heal, and I missed it. I'm sorry. We'll go next to the big heal, and then we'll clip this. We'll go on to the next epic that will absolutely change your account. These are the epics that, you know, for progression. This is all about progression. Sometimes they work really well in PvP too, but for progression, we got the pillar to take care of. The pillar, you need different tanks for the different affinities. We've got Faye Meander. By the way, my Sigrid in the back here doesn't have any damage gear. She's rolling in something totally different. No damage gear. And I'm sure you've seen his heal. His heal was like for 39,000. The whole board, it doesn't matter where he's at, 39,000 heals. Guras, you should know who he is by now. We've got a lot of other areas in the game that we're focusing on now because we can do everything with rares. We can farm legendary gear. We're just waiting for the 2 times increased drop rate of legendary gear. Once that happens, our accounts are going to explode. In 6 days from now, we're going to get full legendary drops along with enough fragments to make another piece of legendary drop. So I'm waiting for them. Once we have all that legendary gear, our rares will dominate all these dungeons. We'll have legendary everything, runes, gear, anything you can imagine. So now we need to level up some of these epics. And really, you should have already leveled up Guras because he is an absolute beast. Now this one I have, these 2 I have on my test server, and I'm sure you've seen these guys before. I don't have them leveled up on my account. I actually don't have either one of them on this account. I had them on the previous beta account, and I religiously used Verves. I'm sure you guys know who Verves is. Religiously use this guy in almost every single battle I had because he can remove buffs, he can block them from getting buffs, he does AoE damage across the whole entire board, and then he heals the person with the lowest HP, but it kind of cycles through a heal. This says heals the ally with the lowest HP by 70% of his attack. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. It's like having a DPS healer on your team. We just saw a tank healer. This is the DPS healer version that can remove buffs from the enemy. How many dungeons do we need this? Removing buffs from all the bosses out there, blocking buffs on all the bosses. 3 hits, by the way. Anywhere he's placed on the board, 3 hits. This is the Wombo combo for Arena. You bring this guy in, he's in the very back. He goes off before Sigrid, the other rare epic Epic plus plus that I was going to talk about. Then Sigrid fires off because they got this debuff up because he has 3 chances to apply this. Your team can't get any buffs. Now they just got hit by Sigrid, hitting the whole entire board with decreased attack, heal block. Now they can't get heals. Now they're hitting weaker. It's a beautiful combo. You can use it anywhere in the game. But this guy alone got me through so many things in beta. He would just sit there and just keep doing damage. And while he's doing these multiple hits, he's healing whoever has the lowest. So he's bringing people up like this, bringing people up like that. Everybody's just getting life all the time with this guy, all the time. He is one that if you have, you should have already leveled him up. You should have already had that guy leveled up. Let's jump to another really cool one. This one you might see a lot in Arena, but people use him everywhere else in the game. This is number 3 of our 4. Zarloth is kind of like Varesh. He'll heal your people. He's got this heal here on every 4 basic attacks. Right here, we get a heal, plus we silence the enemy. He's got a good attack lead. Here, we get the recharge speed penalty, and you know how much I love that. Whenever I can slow somebody down with a Dre or bring in Elvis or any of the other recharge speed penalty people, that means we're slowing down the boss. Their meter's going slow. It's not going fast anymore. We get all of our heals in. We get all of our debuffs in. We get all of our decrease attacks, anything we need to get done. Right? We just keep cycling back through our moves much faster than they do their moves, and we're able to keep up with these bosses as we go up in the floors. So this alone is just one of my favorite things to have on a hero. But now he's also healing people, and he's fearing people all the time. So in Arena, this happens quite a lot. This guy is just like a fear machine. Plus, we're healing allies here by 30% of attack in the meantime while we're doing this. It's pretty nuts. This guy will be an account changer for you. You can have fun with him in Arena. You can bring him in as your DPS or into content for any content just for this recharge speed penalty, for the heals that he's doing right here, the passive healing with damage. And then with all these cool fears, whenever you're going up through Fey Meander, floor after floor after floor, much easier time. What beats doing damage, healing your team, plus fearing the other team all the time? Going up through the pillars, the trials, like what I was talking about, right? We need all the different affinities to go up through the 3 different pillars, 60 stages, and we've got bosses like every 10 floors. He's the best. So level him up if you have him as well. Okay, we got one more, and then I'm going to go to an honorable mention for an epic that isn't exactly a progression game changer as sense of like dungeons and everywhere in the game. The 4 we're talking about everywhere in the game, right? They are just absolutely elevate your account. This last one, let's talk about this last one really quick because I'm pretty sure you know, because this guy was in beta and everybody used him before we had Garius, right? Furbath is here. This used to be our Garius back in the day. We had a tank that could heal everybody. He was the best thing for progression. And now we've got Garius, which I feel is a little bit better than Furbath, honestly. He seems like he's tankier. He seems like he definitely heals for a huge amount more, but Furbath can remove a debuff from the person he's healing. As long as he's dealing damage to somebody with a debuff, he's got a percentage chance to heal them and to dispel 1 debuff from them. The more debuffs on the target, the higher the healing amount. This effect can only trigger once every second. That's pretty good. Once every second is not bad at all if we're attacking somebody with debuffs, and then we remove a debuff from one of our allies and heal them. That's pretty damn strong. And then here we get this healing nexus up. You just see it pulse, right? You see kind of like this banner come out, and you see this healing going on. And then this is just a normal tank move, right? He just does an AoE decrease attack. But this used to be our go-to guy. He's still our go-to guy, for sure, for progression. We can still use him. We can still load up our allies around him. We can get all that healing going on. He can remove the debuff and heal everybody. But I like Garius more. But still, he's top tier as far as helping us get through the game. On to the bonus round, number 5, who is one of my favorite heroes. Now, this doesn't really have to do with progression, but she is amazing for almost everything. Even the Wisp when you're fighting the Venom with the Harpy. Even the Wisp to silence the Wisp and stun the Wisp. Do you know who I'm talking about? Who can silence nonstop and stun nonstop? Well, it's Iola. Iola is so good. I'm going to do damage numbers with her and see what kind of damage I can get. I don't know if she does amazing damage, but I can tell you that if you played her in Arena, if you've played her going through Fey Meander, story mode, taking her up in the pillars against all those different waves upon waves, you will know that this girl does not mess around when it comes to stunning people. And she's getting stuns off of silences. So when you see all those stuns, remember, they were silenced before they were stunned. She just has an extra chance to stun people when they're silenced, or she actually has a chance only when they're silenced, but she is just throwing it out all the time, and she looks amazing. So for me, as a support hero, to get through that kind of content I just talked about, she's one of my favorite. I just love the look of her. I love what she does. She has like a little lightning storm out there, and it's just constant stunning, stunning, stunning. We have a poison dwarf that when we do a crowd control on somebody, we get a little additional attack to your highest attack person on your team. It's not the coolest thing in the world, but I do like to see combos like this. I like to see whenever an enemy is inflicted with control, grants 10% ultimate to the ally with the highest attack. Now, this dwarf can also do some stuns as well here in a 3x3, but I think that's pretty sweet. I always look for the ways to use somebody that I really like and bring in somebody else that maybe can elevate the team. I don't think this is really elevating it because it's every 3 seconds, although she would definitely give 10% ultimate to your highest attack every 3 seconds because that's how much she is silencing and stunning people. So Iola is the little extra one I had in there because I like her so much. So you guys tell me, what are your favorite epics in the game? I know there are a lot of choice epics for a lot of different content. So I know if you tell me, hey, Stu, this epic is so good for this, I got you. I wanted to go over the 4 that are just the best overall for progression. And then I just wanted to throw in the one that I like the most. So just kind of tell me the one you like the most if you want to. Tell me your favorite one out there for like jumping behind enemy lines, staying on target, and killing them, because I'm doing a video on all the guys that jump behind enemy lines and how stupid all the other ones are because they'll hit that target once and go away, where Caraman stays on target and takes care of business. He does what he needs to do, and we'll do damage comparisons to all those people that jump back in the back lines, and we'll look at their AI. We'll do AI analysis on what they're actually doing. Like, come on. You're back there to kill people. Kill people for me. Stay on target. Don't jump all around. We'll talk about that in another video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.